Hello and welcome back to RIFC Nation. I'm your host, Matt. I'm excited for this one as I'm joined by TB Rowdy's fan. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, very
Good to
excited.
be here.
Yeah, very excited to get this one done. The last one I did with the Monterey Bay Union Report was really well received. We got a lot of views. We had a lot of people join us in the chat. So really excited to do these. And I think it's a lot of fun just connecting with other fans because that's kind of the soccer nerd that I am. But before we do get started, please take a second if you're watching us live on YouTube or if you're checking out the post recording on YouTube, hit that thumbs up to like this video and click the subscribe button so you get notified every time that RIFC Nation goes live. And before we get started with that, I'd also like to say that if you are not already using the Club Collector app, or if you are using the Club Collector app, go check it out. It'll be in my link tree. You can enter the code RIFC Nation to get an exclusive pack, and hopefully that'll help out your collection. It's a really cool app. It's got some cool cards on it, cool designs, and just a fun time with all the match day events that he's got running through it right now. So definitely want to start this one out with JJ Williams. I'm sure you're pretty sad to see him leave the Bay Area over there, but we're pretty excited to have him. We haven't seen him yet. He's recovering from a sports hernia injury, and I believe the surgery that preceded that. So what can we as RIFC fans expect from JJ Williams when we do get him healthy and firing on all cylinders?
He goes up for headers. Like that's how he scored majority of his goals for us. From what I remember, a lot of like crosses in up top. He goes up, brings them in, scores goals. Occasionally, he'll just pull out this absolute wonder goal that you just have no idea how he's managed to run through three people and score. But I mean, he did that for us. I believe it was against Tulsa, where he just scored. He just took the ball and ran through three people and scored. And there's another goal I can think of off the top of my head against Las Vegas, where he got the ball from maybe 25 yards out and just rifled it past the keeper and gave us a late win.
That's good to know. I think as the more we've seen Chico Albert Dequa play these first few matches, we kind of love that physical brand and style he brings. So to know we're getting another physical style and brand with JJ, I'm definitely excited to see it. I've also, kind of what I've seen and watched in the YouTube scouting that fans will do and message board reading that his passing is also top notch. Can you speak a bit about that?
Well, a lot of our build-up was kind of more from the back because we had Cal Jennings, who's really good at running onto balls. But I think more towards the end of the season, when Cal and JJ kind of got on the same page, they were very, very good together. To where JJ would just send a through ball through, and Jennings would go on and score. And I think that JJ was a big part of Cal Jennings finishing so high in the Golden Boot race.
Good to hear. So moving on to Saturday's match, and for the RIFC fans watching this one, we are going to be having a joint watch party with the club and the Defiance, our supporters group, at the German club in Pawtucket. So that'll be a fun one. That'll be pretty packed, and good German beer is always good and good to enjoy while watching some footy. So I'm excited for that one. Let's get your take on the Rowdy Stadium. What's the crowd like? What's the capacity? Are there supporters groups, drums? What's the environment like at the game? Give us a rundown of what a typical match day, a home match day looks like for Tampa.
So Al Lang Stadium, and I will die on this hill, I think that Al Lang Stadium is the best stadium in the USL Championship. It's beautiful views right on the water. Atmosphere-wise, we have two supporters groups. So we have the Skyway Casuals, which is based off the Skyway Bridge, which connects Tampa to St. Petersburg, where we play.
I've been on that one.
Yeah. They do a lot more kind of like tailgating and more kind of like pregame stuff, and they do a lot for the environment and like a lot of local stuff as well. And then there's Ralph's Mob, which who makes they're the ones who make the loud noises. They're the ones who do all the chants. Not that Skyway Casuals doesn't. They are phenomenal with what they do in the games as well. But Ralph's Mob leads all the chants, and they are by far the loudest. But both supporters groups are together, and they will stand together in the stand as well.
Very nice. Drums? Any drums in the
Yep,
stadium?
yep. So we have, I think we have one. We either have one or two. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know there's at least one. And we have somebody who stands on like a little bit of like a scaffolding, and they'll lead all the chants, and it's a class atmosphere. I was lucky enough to be in the San Antonio Ralph's Mob, and it was phenomenal. Attendance, we had sold out the San Antonio game. It was at 7,500, and it was phenomenal. Just looking around, seeing like sold out stands. It was really cool to see.
Nice. And what? How would you say, how would you describe the style of play? What are we going to see from formationally or and tactically? How are they going to set up, and what are we going to see from Tampa Bay?
Well, so we've kind of been we have a new manager, Robbie Nielsen, who's come in from Scotland.
I got to say that I am very familiar with Robbie. I follow the Scottish League closely. I am not a fan at all of him because I'm a Hibs supporter and he was from Hearts. So I will throw that out there that I am very familiar. We used to call him Replay Robbie because he would always play for the Replay in the Cups.
We are still trying to kind of figure out what works, what doesn't work. But we have been running three in the back, which involve Guillen, Lasso, and Doherty. And then we've been running mainly two wingbacks, who consist of Blake Bodley and Pacifique Nayagabire. I believe that's how you say it. Who was just recently on international break. So I hope that he's back for our game. And then we'll run a midfield of Hilton and Chrysostomos, with a strike partnership of Jennings and Arteaga.
Gotcha. So, very similar start to Rhode Island FC. 2 points, three of first two games, a 2-2 and a 1-all. The 2-2 being the opener versus San Antonio, and the 1-all away versus North Carolina. What are some of the strengths you've seen in the early parts of the season from Tampa Bay?
I thought that our wing play has been absolutely phenomenal. Blake Bodley, especially, I thought has been very, very good. I was very excited to get him from San Diego, and I think he's just been great. He's been really good at getting crosses in. So I think if our ability to play wide kind of controls whether we play well or doesn't.
Gotcha. And that'll be a similar style that you'll see from Rhode Island. We like to get wide, like to press high, get very physical. As I know the MB Union guys posted on one or commented on one of your posts.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say are some weaknesses or vulnerable areas for the Rowdies?
Pressing.
Dealing with the press, or
dealing with the press. We struggled a lot against North Carolina because of that. I don't know if it was just something was off, something wasn't working, they weren't communicating, but there were lots of panic passes to our goalkeeper, Jordan Farr, which led to not good clearances, which led to lots of heart-stopping moments for me. But I think if we can play through the press, I think we'll be in good shape. The only other thing I've kind of noticed is if wing play isn't working, we just kind of shut down. I felt that we struggled to kind of play the ball through the midfield against North Carolina. And the other thing I think that we struggle with a lot is stamina. Like for the San Antonio game, the first 75, 80 minutes were just phenomenal. Like we played very, very well. And then it seemed like they just kind of ran out of gas and they just got fatigued. And then San Antonio was able to score 2 late goals.
Gotcha. Well, I will hit the chair emoji for that, as I think the best thing that we've seen from Rhode Island is the press. It is the wing play, and I would say stamina is definitely a strong point of ours in the early going. It'll be definitely worth noting if Clay Holstead is there, if he can play. Didn't go versus Monterey Bay, and he's certainly our catalyst in the midfield. He was out with an illness, so we're kind of waiting to see if he'll travel to Tampa or if he'll kind of be held out for the next home match. But if Clay's there, that's a big difference maker in the middle. And I would say that would help definitely tilt the scales to Rhode Island. And then we also had an injury to our captain and keeper, Koke Vegas, in the last one. So definitely something else to keep an eye on, going into this one. But with the 2 draws in your first match, or first 2 matches, what would you say your overall goals or expectations from this team for the season are?
Well, I think if you were to ask a Rowdies fan what their expectation is, it'd be to win the league. Like, especially last year, I thought we had the team to do it. We had a very good attack, very good midfield, very good defense, and it was just a complete self-destruction against Birmingham. And so, I don't have as high expectations because we have a first-year manager, a couple new players. So I'd say at least conference final or conference semifinal at the very, very minimum.
All right. We do have a question in the chat from Sam. So Sam Russell, let's check that out. He says, "How has Tico Rivera been playing? I'm friends with him and his family, and would love to see him play for us. Being Rhode Island FC, was heartbreaking to see him take rival colors." So, how has Tico been playing?
He's been good. He's been good. He is. I think he's going to score soon. I don't want to spoil it, but he is actually in my score prediction. In the preseason, he was absolutely killing it, scoring. I think he scored a goal every single game, and I thought he's played really, really well in the 2 games he has played. And I don't know. We'll see. He's been very close to scoring multiple times, but he's just been over. So I'm hoping he can get some on target. But to answer your question, he's been playing very, very well for us.
All right. So you mentioned score predictions. Before we get that, where can I know? So you run a Tampa Bay Rowdies fan page on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell everyone where they can follow you, your handle, and kind of what got you into starting that page, and kind of the love affair with the club for you.
Well, so it's TV Rowdies fan on Instagram. Only on Instagram. The reason why I started the account was I was making memes and sending them to my friends like during the games, and it just kind of came to me to make an account for memes. And then I was like, well, there's not really like a Rowdies account for news. Like there's RBLR, which is a company that do podcasts for all Tampa Bay sports. But they're really the closest thing we had that I found. So I decided to just kind of make like a news like discussion kind of page. And I wanted to spread the love that I have for the club to other people. And I felt like that was a good way to do it, because if you read all the different read all the comments, there's a bunch of people who are normally angry. So I thought it'd be a good way to kind of dilute that also.
Yeah, it's always good to lighten the mood. How long have you had the account up and running?
It would be a couple months. It was the game against Hartford.
Oof.
Our
Swear word on this podcast. We do not like Connecticut people.
I plead the fifth on that one. But
there you go.
it was the game against Hartford that I made the account. And yeah, I think I've made some decent progress, and I'm happy with the community and fan base I've built.
Oh, very nice. So before we get out of here, we will end with the score predictions. And you mentioned you had maybe Tico involved in yours. So let's hear your score predictions and your result.
So score predictions, I'm gonna go 2-2. I'm gonna have Riviera as a goal scorer, and I'm gonna have Cal Jennings as a goal scorer. And for Rhode Island, I'm gonna have 2 Dequa goals.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't really have a good track record of playing against him in Al Lang. It was last year. I think he scored in like the 3rd minute and shattered our conference hopes.
So
That sorry.
I will tell you that the MB Union Report guys did mention how Chico kind of tore them apart last year, and he went out and got his first goal and finished up with a brace last time out. So
Yeah,
there is precedence on this show for bringing up past ghosts of Dequa and letting them come to life and fruition in games. So that's good to hear. I'll
yeah. I
take
mean,
that.
it scares me. I when I saw the score, I saw 2 goals from Dequa, and I was scared. But I do have to say, I thought our defense played really, really well against North Carolina. Like Forrest Lasso dropped probably the best defensive game I've ever seen. Like he stopped like 3 or 4 goals, and he was phenomenal. And I think Jordan Doherty plays in a much better position when he's in center back. So I think that'll be good. And then I think that Aaron Guillen, our captain, is always, I mean, he's always on fire. Of course, now I said that, I've jinxed them, but I think I feel good with our backline. Just communication, watching the runs, not making any silly mistakes, which always seem to happen in big games. But I think if our defense plays well, I think we can pull it out. But I don't know.
All right. So before I give you mine, I will say that we have a really active Discord server for the Rhode Island Defiance. It's our supporters club with the Prediction League channel, and I was the first member to pick a loss for RIFC. I predicted a loss last time out versus Monterey Bay, and I was heckled and abused for it. Glad to be wrong, happy to be wrong, but I thought the cross country trip would be tough.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go 2-1 Rhode Island in this one. I'm gonna go goals from Dequa, and I think Noah Fuzon finds the back of the net. He's been playing great. The through ball he gave to Chico in the last match was just absolutely top notch, which Chico then proceeded to nutmeg the keeper on. But Fuzon's been playing great. Hopefully Holstead's back in the mix, and that allows him to get a little bit further up the pitch and a little bit more involved in the final third, instead of just being the predominant playmaker. So I'm going to go Fuzon and Dequa on the score sheet for us in a 2-1 win in Rhode Island FC's first ever win. So I haven't predicted a win yet. I predicted a draw for the first match. So really going out on a limb this one. I put it in our Discord prediction league, and 2-1 was actually a very popular score. So we will have to see on that one.
Well, I just hope you're wrong. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
That's it. You got to be able to take the banter. Like I said,
Yeah,
I was abused for picking it. But I got a good feeling about this one, and with your insight of Tampa Bay struggling with the press and the physicality, which is kind of all we do. So
I mean, it's just going to be, I think if we play well, like if our passes are hitting like what was happening for the first 80 minutes of San Antonio, I think I don't want to say, because I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, we're the best. But I mean, when we were hitting our passes, our wing backs were making great runs, our strikers were getting into really good positions. I thought we looked very, very good.
Got it. So we will see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, and then hopefully we can do this on the return fixture when your boys are in Rhode Island and record it again. But I want to definitely thank you for joining here on RIFC Nation, and any final words you want to kind of dole out before we do sign off?
Well, first I just wanted to say again, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute honor. If you guys want to go follow me, TV Rowdies Fan on Instagram. And of course, subscribe to RIFC Nation. But beyond that, thank you.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that. And Tim McDuff's in saying, good stuff. Thanks for the stream. Tim, we appreciate you joining, and thanks for getting in on the chat. that'll wrap it up for this one. Excited to go to the watch party. So RIFC Nation, if you see the beard, come say hi. I got some RIFC Nation stickers. I'll be passing them out. Stick them up everywhere. And I look forward to meeting some of you at the watch party. Always look forward to watching. It should be a good one. Thanks for joining, TB Roddy's fan. Just remember, you can click the link in this episode description. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. I've never called it X, so I'm going to continue to call.
It's so weird to call it X, yeah.
Right. I'm going to continue to call it Twitter, but whatever floats your boat, you can find me there as well. Just click that link in this episode description and check everything out. So thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time on RIFC Nation. See ya.